She did not beat you. She did not slap you in your face. You know, she didn't shout at you or become angry because you asked her to help you off the toilet. She didn't do any of those things. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. On the day this video uploads, it will be Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, this video has nothing to do with love. But before I get into that, house guests, I want to welcome you. Come in, make yourselves at home, make yourselves comfortable. To all my visitors stopping by for the first time, if you'd like to become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all your notifications. I'm Chez, this is Chez M0i. Welcome to my place. Okay guys, so as I said, this video has nothing to do with love, unfortunately. This woman, the woman I'm going to talk about today, okay, let me compose myself. Everything this woman represents is everything I stay away from. This woman represents negativity. She represents toxicity, she represents darkness, and I don't exaggerate when I say this. Anytime I see her image online, or anytime I see her name, whichever name she's going by at that time, I don't get positive vibes. Who am I talking about? Samantha Grant is how she introduced herself shortly after Meghan and Harry's relationship was revealed. Samantha Grant is also known as Samantha Rasmussen, and she's denied that she changed her name after, you know, Meghan and Harry got together. But I just find it interesting, the timing of her going back to her maiden name, Markle. She's the half sister of Meghan, and having had to research her for this video, I was shaking my head all the way through. Because there are so many contradictions, and I want you and I to explore these together. As I said, this woman has had different names for the purposes of this video. I'm just going to simply refer to her as Samantha, because as these following images demonstrate, she seems to have gone through some kind of identity crisis. I don't think she knows who she is. And I think a lot of it has to do with comparison. It's comparison syndrome, comparing herself to her half-sister. So over a week ago, Harry and Meghan were deposed in a lawsuit brought by Samantha early last year. Depositions are not something that we're really familiar with here in the UK. I only know of that term based on crime dramas that I watch from America. One of my favourites at the moment is Law and Order SVU. And periodically someone will be deposed where they come in, sit down in front of the camera while being questioned by the lawyer of the other party. But just to make it clear, in my mind, and for those of you who don't know what a deposition is, here's the definition of a deposition. So in Samantha's lawsuit, she counters various claims that Meghan has apparently made, not just in the Oprah interview, but in different areas. I think there were some magazines that Samantha cited that Meghan had made these statements, and she's angry, okay? She's not happy. So the two that I want to look at in this video are Meghan's statements. I can't cast my mind back to the Oprah interview. I mean, that was in 2021, and I haven't rewatched it, but based on what I've seen online with regard to this lawsuit, Samantha's not happy about Meghan saying that she grew up as an only child and that she didn't have a relationship with Samantha. So I thought, let me look at these two closely. An only child. Meghan is the only child of her mother, Doria. When Meghan was born, Samantha was 17 years old. I find it difficult to believe that with a 17-year age gap, you're going to have a sisterly bond. And the pictures that were released, I think by Samantha, when she wanted everyone to know that she was Meghan's sister, you know, you see her when Meghan was a toddler, you see her when Meghan was a little bit older. If I didn't know the background to this family, you know, from what I've seen online, I would have sworn that this woman was Meghan's mother. Samantha is 58. Meghan's mother, Doria, is 66. There's an 8-year age gap. Generationally, these two women have more in common than Samantha does with Meghan. So when Meghan says she grew up as an only child, why is that unreasonable? If Meghan had gone to spend time with her dad's side of the family, the older two children would be there, because remember, there's a brother also, Thomas Jr. He and Samantha are around the same age. So obviously, if Meghan is coming to visit her dad and the two older children are there, they're going to be in each other's presence. Hence the photos and the home videos that we've seen, you know, over the course of the last few years. No one's denying that. But to say that Meghan grown up with, when Meghan came along, you were 17. By the time Meghan got to toddler stage, you were a fully fledged adult. I don't think Meghan's being unreasonable when she says she didn't grow up with them. Grow up with who? How are you going to relate to someone who's an adult if you're a toddler and you're grown up? And that 17-year gap will never change. Math doesn't lie. Okay? So why are you trying to force a relationship that doesn't exist? If Meghan says that she didn't grow up with you, why does that trigger you so much? Why are you so bothered? With everything you have going on in your life, Samantha, why does what Meghan says, why does it bother you so much? As a mature woman, why are you so focused on what this half-sister says? She clearly doesn't want anything to do with you. She didn't want you at her wedding. She wanted her niece at the wedding, but she couldn't even invite her niece, your daughter, because she didn't want you there. And she was advised by the palace not to invite her niece. I mean, where was all this energy during Meghan's first marriage? I have so many questions. You guys already know I like to ask questions because I'm trying to apply logic. The other question I had with regard to this lawsuit is the sum that Samantha is suing Meghan for. $75,000, which equates to around £62,000 if I remember correctly. Why such a I mean, it's a lot of money, okay, but relatively speaking, it's not that much. If you're so aggrieved, why is the sum so small? Or could it be Samantha's attempt at humour? According to this article in Vanity Fair published on January 18th, 2018, when Samantha saw the dress Meghan wore for her engagement portraits with Harry, she commented, "If you can spend $75,000 on a dress, you can spend $75,000 on your dad." Or is it because you don't want people to forget that you don't want people to forget that you exist? What's the motivation behind this? What's the motivation? You've already written a book called Diary of Princess Pushy or something like that. I don't know anyone who's read that book. You've made all these claims, apparently. I've never read the book. I don't intend to read the book. When I look at these things, it's one rule for one and another rule for another. Okay, you've written this book, you've come out with all these claims, trying to put your half-sister in a negative light. I mean, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. From what I gather, your book was quite malicious. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anyone who's read it, and I have no intention of reading that book. For the purposes of this video, very reluctantly, I've had to do a delve into Samantha. Let's start off with her bio on IMDb.
Samantha Grant Markle, born Yvonne Marie Markle but changed her name to Samantha in the 1990s. She also used the professional name of Grant in the entertainment industry as a broadcaster, actress, producer and writer. Samantha has worked in the entertainment industry since 1984 as an on-air talent, newscaster and promotions and marketing director for several radio stations. She has appeared on television shows such as Matlock, General Hospital, A Different World, ABC After School Specials, and several commercials for television. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology and criminology and a master's degree in both mental health counselling and vocational rehabilitation counselling. She is the daughter of Thomas W. Markle, a successful lighting director and director of photography for the ABC television network for 40 years. She has two siblings, Thomas Markle Jr. and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex.
So based on her bio, it's clear that she's an accomplished woman. Academically, she's achieved quite a lot. She's been involved in the entertainment industry. She hasn't done too badly. But what interested me about this bio was her qualifications in mental health. Stick a pin in there because I'm going to come back to that later. Let's look at what Samantha has said about her half-sister and people associated with her half-sister. Disparaging remarks. So if you watch the Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, it was revealed that Samantha was behind a sustained campaign of trolling against Meghan, and apparently she had at least a dozen Twitter accounts. She denies it, obviously, saying that her accounts were hacked or her account was hacked, whatever. She denies all knowledge. I mean, if you're going to go on interviews and slag your sister off, the likelihood of you having set up these Twitter accounts to troll your sister, it's not far from the realms of possibility, is it? You really expect us to believe that you weren't behind all of those? But who am I to judge? According to reports, when Meghan's mother, Doria, was with Thomas Markle, her husband, Meghan's dad, Samantha used to refer to Doria as the maid. Now, you don't need to be Einstein to work out why she would have called her the maid, okay? But again, she denies it. But apparently a friend said if she did do that, it's because of her sense of humour. Okay. Other disparaging remarks, which I didn't know until I was doing research for this video. Apparently she said that Meghan didn't give birth to Archie. She also said that Archie and Lily didn't exist because none of that side of the family have seen those children. So as far as Samantha's concerned, if they haven't seen those children, the children don't exist. She hasn't even taken into account that Archie was seen by Prince Philip and the Queen shortly after he was born. Doria's been looking after these kids in California. You saw that in the Netflix series. But as I've said in previous videos, if Harry and Meghan say that the sky is blue, people will continue to say that the sky is green. So when we look at Samantha's other non-relationships we see that she's been married and divorced twice. Both these men, can't remember what their first names are, but their surnames are Hale and Rasmussen. She has children, 2 children with Hale and 1 with Rasmussen. By all accounts, she has no relationship with these children. And again, if you watched the Netflix docuseries, Samantha's daughter makes an appearance. Her name is Ashley. She has a very close relationship with Meghan, and this is the first time we are told about this relationship. Here's an article from Harper's Bazaar where Ashley explains the background to the relationship between her and her mother.
This article is from harpersbazaar.com, published on December 14th, 2022. Who is Meghan Markle's niece, Ashley Hale? Duchess Meghan's niece, Ashley Hale, was the subject of a controversial moment in Volume 1 of the Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan that has since garnered her widespread media attention. In the 3rd episode, the Duchess shares how the firm allegedly forbade her niece from attending her 2018 royal wedding to Prince Harry. Hale also makes a cameo in the doc, in which she describes her close relationship with Meghan prior to her marrying into the royal family. How are Ashley and Meghan related? Hale is the daughter of Meghan's paternal half-sister Samantha Markle, who shares the same father as the Duchess. In the docuseries, Hale opens up about her upbringing. It was agreed by everyone, by myself and my brother, to be raised by our grandparents, she explains. So they got custody of us when I was probably around 2 years old, and ultimately they did adopt us. Though I was raised by my paternal grandparents, for me, they were my parents. According to the docuseries, Meghan and Hale reconnected and grew close around 2007, when Hale and her mother also reconnected, during which they often travelled together. She takes on a lot of roles for me, Hale says of the Duchess of Sussex. There's a sister element, there's something maternal. She's a best friend. She's kind of all the things. She was like a little sister, Meghan affirms. Where does their relationship stand now? Though Meghan does not currently have a relationship with Hale's mother, she is still on positive terms with Hale, who has herself not been on speaking terms with her mother. Meghan also says that she wanted to shield Hale from the media attention caused by her mother, who infamously tipped off tabloids with false claims on the Duchess. Ash was put through quite a bit by the media just by association, Meghan says. I didn't want her life to be plagued with all that drama.
So as I said, Samantha's had 2 divorces. She's been involved with this 3rd man, Mark Phillips, and apparently they were married. I didn't know that until a couple of days ago. And I didn't know about this incident that took place in 2020.
This article is from the New York Post by Yaron Steinbuch on December 25th, 2020. Meghan Markle's brother-in-law reportedly charged with domestic violence. Meghan Markle's brother-in-law has been accused of striking his wheelchair-bound wife, the Duchess of Sussex's sister, in the face after she asked him for help in using the toilet, according to a report. Mark Phillips, 62, was charged with domestic violence for allegedly hitting Samantha Markle at their home in Lakeland, Florida on December 14th after she asked him to help her get off the toilet late at night, the Daily Mail reported. Phillips was booked into the Polk County Jail the day of the alleged attack and released pending a trial, according to the outlet, which cited an arrest affidavit it had obtained. Samantha, 56, told police that her husband, who works in storage unit clearance, had struck her in the face, the Daily Mail reported. Phillips slapped her on the right side of her face in the ear area when he became irate after she asked him for assistance, according to the police report. He allegedly fled the scene but was later arrested as the primary aggressor and charged with domestic violence. Samantha has had a volatile relationship with her husband, with whom she has lived in Florida since 2016, according to the news outlet. When they lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, police were called to their home multiple times, with one incident listed as a call for alleged domestic abuse, the Daily Mail reported. Phillips also has been involved in a number of incidents with Samantha's former husband, Scott Rasmussen, 60, with the exes taking out restraining orders on each other, according to the outlet. A 2015 report also says Rasmussen and their daughter Noelle had to be accompanied by police when they went to Samantha's home to collect Noelle's belongings. During the custody battle, which ended when Noelle turned 18 in October 2016, Phillips was accused of harassing her with abusive text messages, which the Daily Mail said it has seen. On 29th of July 2015, Phillips was accused of being abusive to Noelle inside court, according to an affidavit filed by Rasmussen, the Daily Mail reported. "Stupid, blank blank," he allegedly shouted at the 18-year-old as she passed him in the corridor, according to documents the outlet said it has seen. And in May 2018, Samantha and Phillips were mocked after calling police about a car crash allegedly caused by paparazzi, but was later determined not to have happened. Samantha had told TMZ she went to a hospital with a broken ankle after the alleged incident and shared a photo of herself looking miserable in the ER, the Daily Mail reported.
You don't have a relationship with any of your children. 2 of your kids were brought up by their paternal grandparents. Your relationship skills appear to be very diminished, but you're laser focused on trying to have a relationship with your half-sister. What about the relationship with your children? It defies logic. I'm trying to apply logic where logic can't be applied. I don't understand. Okay. You file a lawsuit against your half-sister because of things that she said that you take objection to, but you live with a man that has battered you. You live with a man that has physically assaulted you. Where's all this energy for your current husband? How? I mean, I don't know. Has she taken out a lawsuit against him? Has she sued him for actual bodily harm, grievous bodily harm, you know, her life being in danger? Remember, this woman has multiple sclerosis. She was diagnosed in 2008. She needs assistance to do what she needs to do. She asked this man to help her and he went mad apparently. But you're all right to live with someone like that. But your half-sister she doesn't live near you. But you want to go after your half-sister because of something that she said that you didn't agree with. You had major objections to, but you don't object to this man battering you. I don't know if it's on a regular basis, but it appears to be more than once. Where is the logic, people? Where is the logic? House guests, help me. I'm trying to apply logic where logic can't be applied. I don't understand. This is going to be a running theme through this video. Me trying to apply logic where logic can't be applied. And I need your help. I need your assistance. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? I mentioned earlier that Samantha has a master's degree in both mental health counselling and vocational rehabilitation counselling. Why do I mention that? In my own life, I have nothing to do with this person, but this person is in the background somewhere. Don't talk to them. I don't have anything to do with them. I didn't invite them to my life. They are in my life without my consent. That's the most polite way I can put it. This person has a degree in the field of mental health. However, I made the mistake of thinking that this person would be level-headed, would have a balanced outlook on life, and would be mature in her thinking, given that she's an adult. This person has to be the most unhinged, irrational, unreasonable person I've ever had the misfortune to come across. So I'm not going to make the same mistake with Samantha. Samantha is well qualified in the field of mental health. However, it is evident that this woman is also unhinged, irrational, and unreasonable. So as I said, Samantha was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2008. And there's that infamous picture of her in a wheelchair at her graduation, obviously. She's in a graduation outfit, and Meghan is next to her. So the reason I mention about her condition, I personally don't know anyone who suffers from this awful, awful disease. And, you know, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So not knowing anyone that suffers from this, I wanted to familiarise myself with the symptoms.
This article is from Hello magazine on October 14th, 2021. Meghan Markle's half-sister's MS battle, everything you never knew. Meghan Markle's half-sister, Samantha Markle, also known as Samantha Grant, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2008. She has been in a wheelchair since and confirmed she was living with a disability in her memoir, The Diary of Princess Pushy's Sister, Part 1. The condition is a neurological one, meaning it affects your nerves, but there are several things we never knew about it. Symptoms of the Duchess of Sussex's half-sister's condition run the gamut from fatigue to problems with learning. Here's everything the NHS cites. Fatigue, difficulty walking, vision problems such as blurred vision, problems controlling the bladder, numbness or tingling in different parts of the body, muscle stiffness and spasms, problems with balance and coordination, problems with thinking, learning and planning. Symptoms vary from person to person, while the NHS states that they could come and go or get steadily worse. What causes multiple sclerosis? It's an autoimmune condition, which means it happens when your immune system is attacked. The NHS says, in MS, the immune system attacks the layer that surrounds and protects the nerves. Treatment for MS. There is currently no cure for MS, but there are certain types of treatment that can improve and soothe symptoms. These include steroid medicine, disease-modifying therapies, drugs designed to slow down how quick it comes on, and physiotherapy.
I did that because I wanted to understand if that has anything to do with the hostility that Samantha feels towards Meghan. You have qualifications in the field of mental health. You know that mental health is a big thing that people are suffering with in its various forms. Not just in America, all over the world. You are highly qualified. Another question that I had, does Samantha feel justified in weaponizing her father when she goes after Meghan in these various interviews and, you know, weaponize? What I mean by that, she always uses him as a reason to make Meghan feel bad. Like she had said at some stage, oh, so if our father dies, it's going to be your fault. Meghan and her father are now estranged. Let's just accept that. Sometimes there are things that happen in life which are irreparable, unfortunately. Hopefully they can repair that relationship, but Samantha needs to stay out of it. That's between them. And the more you get involved, the likelihood is that they're going to be further estranged because she doesn't want anything to do with you. Why don't you get the message? Why don't you get the message? And even saying that, why don't you show the same concern for your brother, Thomas Jr.? Because I notice he's in none of the pictures. You don't reference him when you're, you know, talking to Piers Morgan or all these other people about how aggrieved you feel. He's already had his shot, but he's realised that it's a fruitless endeavour to negatively speak about his half sister. He's been exposed, his background's been exposed, and it's, you know, not all roses and sunshine by all accounts. He's got his issues to deal with. You, Samantha, have got your issues to deal with. It defies logic, this whole thing. It defies logic. The only conclusion that I could maintain, because I've come to it already a long time ago, is that the motivation for Samantha's actions is pure jealousy. You don't have to be Einstein to work that out. It's very, very clear. And this is why, again, I find it interesting that she has qualifications in the field of mental health, because as someone who has studied that, I would have expected you to manage your emotions, especially strong negative emotions like jealousy and envy. You're supposed to be more equipped than any of us to deal with these types of issues, because you've got tools that you can reference immediately. Many of us don't, and that's why some of us have to go to therapy or seek the advice of a counsellor, which you are qualified to do. But if you were the last counsellor on earth, I wouldn't go to you. Very irrational. I came across this YouTuber called Sweet M0i. She's an MS sufferer, and she can perfectly articulate what I will never be able to do in a million years.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Sweet M0i. I am a conservative makeup YouTuber. I also touch on politics, obviously conservative, so if you like that, stick around. I also have MS, multiple sclerosis, so I do like to touch on that sometimes. And today I just wanted to talk about letting yourself feel the feelings that we get. I don't know about you. If you have had MS for a longer period of time, I'm probably going to assume that you're going to understand what I mean by this. And the feelings of, I guess we could say, jealousy, feeling envious, all of that kind of stuff. I'm definitely, back when I was first diagnosed and it was new and it wasn't a big deal, I never saw that because I thought that my life was going to play out exactly as I thought, you know, like I thought I would be married and have kids. I always wanted 3 kids. I was going to have 2 girls and probably a boy. Well, I mean, that's not, you know, you can't plan that, but I would have like this great career. I would have a husband. I would have that cute little house that I've always wanted. I would have a dog. I would have a cat. And that was life. Well, then MS took that and threw it out the window. And I didn't see it at first, like the first 8 years, you know, when I would have a relapse and then it would just get better and then I was feeling fine. And if you've had MS for longer, you definitely know that that's like a sick joke, the way MS does it. It's funny. No, it's not funny. It's actually very cruel. And it's like a slow death. You know what I mean? And I try to be very, very positive about it, because if we're not positive, like what else do we have? You know what I mean? And I'm sure you guys can understand that. But the feelings of just watching, and tell me if you guys agree. Like, let me know down below if I'm reaching anybody out there. But just when you're, especially in the thralls of either a relapse or the test results didn't come back how you wanted them to, and you're having maybe a not good day or a not good week or a not good year, as I'm slowly learning that's a thing. And then you're watching all of these other people in your life go on to do all these things that you wanted to do. you're seeing them, you know, be in successful relationships. And, you know, one of the things that MS seems to have like taken away is my ability to like have a long-term or successful relationship. Especially the last one. Like there's just a lot of things that you have to deal with, and our partners aren't always understanding of that. And that's life. Super fun, right? And you're watching people get engaged, and you're watching people get married, and then you're watching them have kids, and then you're watching them have the houses that you always wanted to have. And you're watching people. It's weird. It's a weird perspective, because from my perspective, I can't fathom doing such a thing. I can't even like have the energy to have a boyfriend. So how will I ever get to all that other stuff? Freaking don't know. I'll probably end up being that old like cranky cat lady. And you're watching people do all the things that you always wanted to do, that you thought you would have. And you're watching them be promoted, and you're watching them buy all the new cars. And so we can get in this like headspace of like, that must be nice. And even though we can feel happy for people if they're close to us, it's always in the back of our heads. And you know, you can let me know if you don't, but I've definitely noticed this thought process more like the last like 8 years of the MS thing. And you get like mad, and it's just every step of the way you're reminded of what you don't have. And you know what I mean? You're constantly being reminded of, well, at least for me, the money that I don't have, that I can't have because I can't work a whole lot. Why? Because MS. But I find that when I start like having more problems, and just life is just getting a little bit frustrating, and probably because that's how I'm feeling right now, and that's probably why I'm talking to a camera right now, because I don't have any friends, and I don't have a boyfriend, there's nobody to talk to without just sounding, you know, that you're just bitching and whatever. Do you guys know what I mean? In the end, it is what it is. Like, I'm just here stuck in this thing. Like, I'm stuck in this ride, like this roller coaster that I can't get off of for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? There's no chance of me beating it. There's no chance of me finding some like crazy cure and then be like, oh yay, I can get off now. Well, you can't. That's the frustrating part. And sometimes like that creeps into my head. I'm like, I'm only 36 and I already feel not this great. Because I don't. If I could choose right now to like be on disability and never work again, 100% I would. And imagine if that could be my life, but then like you have to go to work and it's harder and harder and harder to do. And so then you're always reminded of that, like, oh, well, it must be nice for the people that, you know, can work all the way up, you know, to retirement and then take out like tons of money and all this because they felt good enough to work that much, and they have the energy and they have all their hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever. And it's a crappy mind space to be in, for sure. And it's not healthy, but it can be there sometimes, especially when you have constant reminders of your situation.
How she is towards her half sister. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychotherapist, I'm not a counsellor, okay? But using my common sense, that level of aggression has to be rooted in pain. And that's why I played you that clip from Sweet Jamie Lee, because she's told you that's what someone with MS, those are the feelings and the emotions that they experience. Because they are limited. They can't do what other people can do. Their life expectancy isn't that long, and their potential to earn money isn't viable. So when Samantha sees Meghan, everybody knows her. She can command millions, whatever she puts her hand to. She's able-bodied. If you put yourself in Samantha's position, have time for her, but I can understand now why she has these issues. I like to talk about real issues and why people do the things that they do. You know, my channel is varied, but what I found myself doing is making more videos where I'm questioning why people do the things that they do. And it's all because of what's going on with Harry and Meghan. I never intended to talk about them at all on this channel, but it's made me more interested in the human psyche and what motivates people to do what they do. So this exercise has been quite interesting for me. And as this video comes to a close, I understand that Samantha is living with an incurable condition. But if I were to advise her, why should she take my advice? Okay. But I would say don't shorten your life anymore. With all the stress that you put yourself under, scientifically, everybody knows it's not good for you. For the life that you have left, wouldn't you want to live it in peace? And a lot of that centers around gratitude. Why don't you just be grateful for the fact that you still have the ability, albeit limited, you still are able to do certain things. How do you think that going after your sister is going to make your condition better? It's not going to make it better. The only thing that's going to make it better is if you just accept where you are in your life, allow your half-sister and her husband and her kids to get on. You build a relationship with your 3 children and just be grateful for the fact that you live in a country that is free, relatively free. You have access to healthcare. I mean, do you want to go through the rest of your life not having a relationship with your own children? At least as you get older and this condition, you know, gets worse. If you had your 3 children in your life, do you know how wonderful that would be, that they would rally around you as you're having to deal with this and become less and less mobile? Would you rather them be in your life or this man who apparently abuses you to be in your life? Like I said, guys, this video, the running theme is me trying to apply logic where it doesn't seem to be able to be applied, if that makes sense.
This is a piece written by Matt Cavallo at MS Focus magazine, Practicing Gratitude with MS. A month later, I was diagnosed with MS. I'd like to say I handled it better, but I didn't. I started to feel really sorry for myself. I thought my hopes and dreams were over. I didn't think my diagnosis was fair, and I was becoming bitter. The people in my life tried to rally and offer support, but my whole paradigm was negative, gloom and doom. It wasn't until I started being thankful and practicing gratitude that my life and relationships changed. I learned that while I did have a chronic, incurable illness, I could still live my best life. I would just have to work a little harder at it than I did before. When I accepted the terms of my disease, I realized that life was precious and that nothing was guaranteed. That realization allowed me to appreciate every day and accomplish dreams I didn't know I had before my diagnosis. The effects of gratitude have been scientifically studied. While each study concludes that further research must be conducted, there are some common elements of each study that can help all of us with MS. 1. Gratitude can reduce negative emotions and make you happier. Resentment, regret, jealousy and envy are toxic emotions that may bubble to the surface once being diagnosed with MS. Practicing gratitude can help manage those negative feelings, which can help you feel better about you. Number 2. Gratitude can make you feel better physically. Studies suggest that if you practice gratitude, you are more likely to take care of your health. This means physical exercise, making good healthy decisions, and following the plan of care of your neurologist. Number 3. Gratitude can make you more resilient. MS presents many mental and physical challenges that can be incredibly stressful. Practicing gratitude helps give you the mental strength and fortitude needed to overcome these challenges. Number 4, gratitude can help foster relationships. Life has become very busy and the common courtesies we used to express have all but fallen by the wayside. You'd be surprised by how showing gratitude, saying please and thank you, or holding the door can make a difference in existing relationships or lead to new ones. Number 5, gratitude can improve self-esteem. After being diagnosed with MS, you might find yourself scrolling through social media comparing yourself to others. Practicing gratitude can improve your self-esteem and reduce the need to compare yourself to the lives of others.
If gratitude doesn't work, then I guess you're just going to continue to be hateful, jealous, bitter, and still trying to work out who you are. You're obviously not happy, you're obviously not secure, you're obviously not happy with yourself. You know, your circumstances, they can't be changed, unfortunately. I would just say make the best of what you have. Because really, what's the alternative? You're going to make yourself more sick by going after your half sister for something that... What did she actually do? She did not beat you. She did not slap you in your face. You know, she didn't shout at you or become angry because you asked her to help you off the toilet. She didn't do any of those things. In conclusion, as I am going to wrap up this video now, there is one person that shares my DNA who I am extremely grateful for, and that's my daughter, Nat. She's 20. She turned 20 the day before Valentine's Day. She's already had her parties over the weekend, and I know she's enjoyed celebrating. Unfortunately, this is another year that I can't be with her because she lives abroad. But hopefully I'll see her in a few months. But I just wanted to say, Nat, I love you so much. I'm proud of the young lady that you've become and you're becoming, and just continue to do what you're doing, and we're extremely proud of you. So guys, as I finally wrap up this video, put your thoughts and observations in the comments below. What do you think about Samantha's non-relationships? Do you think she should rebuild bridges with her children before she even looks at Meghan? Do you think she should stop manipulating her dad? Do you actually have any sympathy or empathy for Samantha? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and activate all of your notifications. And I want to wish you guys all a happy Valentine's Day. If you've got anything planned, I hope you enjoy it. And if you're not doing anything, still enjoy the day. And you shall catch me in the next video.